Okay, let's proceed to the fundamental operations of fractions. So we have 4: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So let's start with addition. So when we have similar fractions, those denominators are the same, we just simply add the numerators and then copy the common denominator. Then, we must always remember to simplify our answer to lowest term. Example, if we have 2/8 and 3/8, we need to get its sum. So since our denominator is the same, which is equal to 8, you need to copy it, then add automatically the numerator 2 plus 3, which is equal to 5. So our answer is 5/8, and we cannot simplify it because there is no common number that can be divided both by 5 and by 8. Next is getting the sum of 1/4 and 3/4. Since we have the same number, common denominator, which is equal to 4, so simply add the numerator 1 plus 3 is 3 is equal to 4. So 4/4, and simplify it to the lowest term. It is equal to 1. How about if we have the similar fraction? So when we have the similar fraction, we need to convert our fraction to similar fractions, or it's getting its equivalent fraction. By how? By finding the least common denominator, or the LCD. And by doing it, we need to list all the common multiples, or the multiples of our denominators. And afterwards, getting or finding the common multiple and choosing the least common multiple, that will become our LCD. Understood? Example, adding 1/2, 2/3, and 3/4. So since we have these similar fractions, because they have different denominators, we need to find first their LCD. I have listed already, that is equal to 12. Why? Because our denominators is 2, 3, and 4. First is getting its multiples, either by listing the multiples of 2, or adding it by, starting by 2, adding it by 2. Then by 2 again. So for example, 2 plus 2, 4, 4 plus 2, 6, 6 plus 2, 8, 8 plus 2, 10, then 10 plus 2 is 12. You may add, if you cannot still find the common multiple of the 3 denominators, you may add by adding it by 2 again. Okay? 3, since it is now 3, so you need to add it by 3. 3 plus 3, 6 plus 3, 9 plus 3, 12, so on and so forth. And by 4, meaning adding it by 4. 4 plus 4, 8 plus 4, 12, so on and so forth. I stopped here because the 3 denominators have common multiple already, which is equal to 12. Then that is the least one. No. Okay, so that is why the LCD is 12. After getting the LCD, you need to copy it, then using it to get the equivalent fraction by dividing your LCD to the denominators. Then the result is multiplied to the numerator to get the new numerator for your equivalent fraction. So let's start. Are you ready? Okay, 12 divided by 2, that is 6. You multiply it by 1, that is equal to 6. So you have to write it above your LCD. 6. Next, 12 divided by 3, 4. And 4 times 2 is 8. Next, 12 divided by 4 is 3. times 3, it is equal to 9. Since we have already similar fractions, we have to remember how to add similar fractions. It is to copy the common denominator and add the numerator. 6 plus 8 plus 9, which is equal to 23. Since we have an improper fraction, we need to simplify it, to convert it to a mixed number by dividing our numerator to the denominator. 23 divided by 12, we have 11. We have 1 and the remainder is 11. So our whole number will be 1 because that is our quotient. The remainder is 11. Why? Because when I multiply 1 by 12, we have 12. So 23 minus 12. So our remainder is 11. Over our divisor, or the denominator, is 12. So copy. So we have 1 and 11 over 12. We cannot simplify it anymore because there is no number that can be both divided by 11 and by 12. Okay? Understood? Any question? If you have question, you may chat me in our group chat or raise it in the class later on. Next, finding the sum of the following: 1/5, 3 over 10th, or 3/10, or 3 over 10, and 7 over 15. So since they are the similar fractions, LCD, finding the LCD. So the multiples of 5 are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 10 is 10, 20, 30. 15 is, multiples of 15 is 15 and 30. I stopped here because I already found their least common multiple, which is equivalent to 30. So our LCD is 30. Copying our LCD, then getting its equivalent fraction. 30 divided by 5 is 6, times 1 is 6. 30 divided by 10 is 3, times 3 is 9. 30 divided by 15 is 2. Multiplying it by 7, it is equivalent to 14. So then, adding the similar fraction, copy the common denominator, then add the numerator. 6 plus 9 is 15, plus 14, that is equal to 29. So the result is 29 over 30. So we cannot simplify it because there are no number that can be both divided by 29 and 30 except 1. Okay? Understood? Okay. Thank you. Let's proceed to the next. How about if we have addition? If we need to add mixed numbers. So, or subtract mixed numbers. So there are two methods. First method is to add the whole numbers, then add the fractional parts. So second method is to change the mixed numbers into improper fraction before adding. Okay, so any method can be used. Example, if you have 3 and 1/3 plus 2 and 1/3, so you need to add separately the whole numbers and then the fractional parts. Make sure that your fractional parts must also consider if you can add directly if they are already in similar fraction form. Kung dili pa sila similar fraction, you need to get its LCD as well. The same goes when you subtract mixed numbers. Okay, so that is 3 plus 2, 3 and 2. Then 1/3 and 1/3. In this case, we have the same, or they are the similar fraction. We have the same denominators. Okay, so it's a lesser. So 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. Then the same man ang ilang denominator, copy it. And 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. So 5 and plus 2/3 is equal to 5 and 2/3. How about in this example? You need 1 1/2 meters of ribbon to make a large bow and 3/4 meter of ribbon to make a small bow. How much ribbon should you buy to make sure you have enough ribbon to make a large and small bow? So the solution is you need to add 1 1/2 and 3/4. Since it is a mixed number, you can use the second method by changing it to improper fraction. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3 over 2, then plus 3 over 4. Since it is not similar fraction, we need to find first their LCD. So 2 and 4, the LCD is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2 times 3, 6. So 6 over 4. Para lang giusa ang denominator ha, pwede inganiyon nga pamaagi, pwede katuntag sa tag sa 100. 4 divided by 4 is 1 times 3 is 3. So you get 6 plus 3, 9 over 4. Or that is equivalent to 2 and 1/4 meter of ribbon. Understood? Pero kung mo gamit ka sa first method, you just copy the whole number first, then kani imo ni si John kay on gihapon imo sa nimong LCD bali yan na siya ha. I'll use pen. So 1 and 1/2 plus 3 over 4. So just copy the whole number, then over 4. The common denominator, 4 divided by 2 is 2 times 1 is 2, plus 4 divided by 4 is 1 times 3 is 3. So you got 1 and 5 over 4. This 5 over 4 can be simplified. So it is equal to 1, the whole number, i-add na nimo sa mixed number na equivalent sa improper fractions of 5 over 4, which is 1 and 1/4. 1 plus 1 is still equal to 2. Then copy the fractional part, 1/4. So still you have the same answer. Understood? Okay? Okay. Thank you. Bye class. Let's proceed on the second fundamental operation, which is subtraction. So let's start by subtracting similar fraction. By doing that, it is the same on how we add similar fractions. Okay, we need to copy the common denominator and subtract the numerators. Example, take note to follow the arrangement, okay, or the order, okay, because in addition, whether it is what do you call that, addition is commutative property. So even though we interchange the numbers, still you get the correct answer. the same answer, meaning 2 plus 3 or 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. But here in subtraction is different. So we need to follow the order or the arrangement of the following. So be careful on interpreting, especially from word problems. Okay, so like for example, subtract 2/8 from 7/8. Though 2/8 is written first, it is but because of the word from, so when we write it, we need to write first 7/8. Okay, so 7/8, wait a minute, so 7/8 minus, because it's subtraction, 2/8. Okay, understood? Then following the rules, copy the common denominator, then subtract the numerator. 7 minus 2 is 5. You got 5/8. Another example, subtract 2/15 from 14/15. So there's still the word from. That is why the next fraction after from must be written first. So 14/15 minus, minus there, subtraction symbol, minus 2/15. That is copy the common denominator and subtract the numerator. 14 minus 2 is 12. Then always remember to simplify your answer into lowest term. So 12 and 15 can be both divided by 3. So the highest number to be divided by 12 and 15 is 3. So 12 divided by 3 is 4, and 15 divided by 3 is 5. So since we cannot find another number we can divide it by 4 and 5. That is why 4/5 is our final answer. Understood? Okay, so remember, copy the common denominator and subtract the numerator. Then write your answer to lowest term. Okay, next, how about if we have the similar fraction? Okay, so when we are subtracting the similar fraction, the same procedure is done when we add fractions with different denominators. First is to find their LCD, find their equivalent fraction afterwards, and then follow how to subtract similar fraction. Example, 2/3 minus 1/4. So what is the LCD of 3 and 4? Try to solve it in your scratch paper or spare notebook. Are you done? Okay, so that is equal to 12. Then to get its equivalent fraction, we need to divide 12 by 3 by the denominators and multiply it to the numerators. 12 divided by 3 is 4, times 2 is 8. 12 divided by 4 is 3, times 1 is 3. There we have our equivalent fraction. Since it is similar already, they have the same denominators already, follow how to subtract similar fraction. By doing that, we need to copy the common denominator, which is 12, then subtract 8 minus 3, which is equal to 5.